Welcome into Sport Bet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Thursday and Friday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, and Sundays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Today is Thursday, October 10th. So far on our show, our picks have gone 9 and 7, so we are up 2.51 units on our show for anyone that's been watching and listening. 9 and 7. We've been giving picks out on my Twitter as well at the Paul Rami. On the other days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, giving some picks out there as well. So check out my Twitter so you can always get my picks on there, as well as my Substack, paulrami.substack.com. That's where everything will be posted. So for show purposes, again, I like to cover this every time. We're going to be using the offshore lines. So that's Bet Online, Bookmaker, BetUS, MyBookie, Heritage, those books there. Again, all plays, everything I do is free, nothing charged, all free plays. We're going to continue to do that. I just love doing this stuff. Love making money, love making you guys money, love finding edges on here. Everything I do play is going to be one unit unless otherwise stated that's a 2 unit play. So that's what we're going to stick with. Today, we're going to be covering tonight's games and tomorrow's games. And then again, on Friday's show, we're going to be covering Saturday's games. Lastly, on Sunday, we'll cover NFL. So let's go ahead and just get right into it when we start looking at this week. There's quite a few games today and tomorrow. We did only find one game that we like today and then one game tomorrow that we're going to be on, and that's it. Everything else, we couldn't quite find the edge that we were looking for. The NFL game, we're not going to have a play on that one. Couldn't quite find anything there that we liked. So we look at college football. A couple games. We were close on Coastal Carolina, James Madison. Very close on taking Coastal Carolina. Just not quite the number we want, that 9.5. If we were more in that double digit range, the 10, 10.5, maybe we would have been on it. This game, it could come down to a last possession where one team or the other gets backdoored. So rather not be on that side. Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, nothing on that game. So we're going to look at UTEP and Western Kentucky. An exciting game for Thursday night. Now, that's the only one that we're going to have a play on for Thursday. But we do have a small edge here that we're going to be taking advantage of. UTEP, this team is a disaster. They cannot decide who they want at QB. The coach, he ended up benching his own recruit that he went out to get in the offseason in favor of McConnell, who started late last season for the Miners. McConnell, in his 2 games, he's been immobile, and he's fumbled in both games already. Now, out of that, their number one running back option, he's had his carries cut each week and now has an undisclosed injury. If you go back and look at his carries, it's gone down weekly and dwindled down. I'll actually pull that back up just because it's kind of ridiculous and really no reason for it. I mean, September 7th, he had 20 carries. Next week against Liberty, 15, against Colorado State, 10, and then last week against Sam Houston State, 4. So something's going on with that team. Again, they're a mess. The only thing that UTEP semi has going for them is their passing defense, which is only allowing 196 pass yards per game and can keep Western Kentucky, they're running really from running away with this game, as that's their strong suit. Western Kentucky passing about 281 yards per game. That's going to be UTEP's focus, is defending the pass. Expect this to really be an ugly game where both offenses, they're going to struggle to get any rhythm going, and the defense to really be the focal point. So combined, these teams, they're 3-7 to the under. Western Kentucky has only gone over this total when they got blown out by Alabama, and then they played that atrocious defense in Middle Tennessee there. So for this one, we're going to be on the under. So let me go through and scroll and see what we've got for the best line right now. It looks like an under 57. I wish we could have got a 57.5, but 57 is going to be our best line. So we're going to do under 57 minus 108 on Heritage there. So let me go ahead and lock that one in. Under 57 minus 108 on Heritage. That's going to be our one play for tonight. Again, no real opinion on this Niners Seahawks game for me. So that one's going to be a pass. Let's move over to Friday, October 11th. We've got one that I really like here as we look at the games. Another one, we were close on Arizona State against Utah. Uh, I'd have to double check and see what the status is with Cam Rising, but if he's back, we can expect Utah to cover that. Again, uncertainty, not going to be playing that game. UNLV at Utah State, asking UNLV to lay 18.5. That's a big task. We're going to stay off that one. Don't like the over or the under on that one either. So we're going to look at Northwestern and Maryland. That's going to be actually a pretty exciting game to look at. So Northwestern coming off of playing two tough defenses as they went on the road to Washington and struggled to score, only putting up 5 points. And then against Indiana, who I still believe is underrated, which I talked about 2 weeks ago when they played Maryland. Now Northwestern, they're getting a secondary that is very vulnerable, allowing 297 pass yards per game. That's going to allow Northwestern to get some offense going and build off that decent effort they had at home against Indiana. Maryland, on the other hand, they're going to have its top wide receiver back in action, Ty Felton, after missing most of the second half against Indiana 2 weeks ago. Even though it hasn't been confirmed, three wide receivers currently dealing with injuries, but Ty Felton was the case of a head injury. So if we read between the lines a little bit on what the coach said there, which was, quote, "I really don't know if the third can't go until I go back over there. I just happened it just happened at a bad time for me to be able to comment because normally I say all three are good to go. My bet, I'm thinking that all three will be good to go. We did a procedure on one of the three where it's just how it takes after having the procedure done. So two of the three good to go." End quote there. So what we can assume is Felton, he did not have a procedure done on his head. He's recovered, that he's recovering from that quickly. So he should be one of the two that are good to go. And he was back at practice yesterday. So that's another good sign. So with that healthy receiving court back from Maryland, coming off their bye week, we can expect this offense to get back to its passing attack of 296 yards per game. Since Northwestern is lying 275 pass yards per game. So one of their, stats that we love for our play is the red zone scoring for Maryland is 100%. Once this team is in the red zone, they will score. At Northwestern, they struggle a bit more in the red zone, but they'll make up for that as Maryland allows 71% red zone passing. All signs pointing to this game really are leaning to the air as points should be plenty, so we'll be on the over on this one. So let's find the best line. It has moved. I know it was originally at 45, I'm sorry. It moved up to 45 and a half, but it is now back down to 45. So, oh no, I'm sorry, 45 and a half. I was looking at the wrong game. So 45 and a half. We'll be taking the over 45 and a half minus 105 on Bet Online there. So let me go ahead and get that in. 45 and a half minus 105 on Bet Online. And that is it. That is all that we've got to today. I've got my dog barking in the back. He's hungry. Time to eat. Again, please follow me on Twitter at the Paul Rami, or X as it's called. And then visit paulrami.substack.com. That's where you're going to get all my plays. So again, real quick, we are going with the under 57 in UTEP in Western Kentucky tonight, and then the over 45 and a half on Northwestern Maryland on Friday. Thanks for joining in. I will see you guys tomorrow where we'll go over Saturday's college football slate. Have a good one.